Hey, what's up and welcome to the Dirtyard Dish. This is just a show where we plan to recap, our weekly games, where we want to go over updates and highlights, and just give you a better insight into Circle City Wiffle Ball. I'm the commissioner and the host of the show, Brendan. This is my co-commish and co-host, Rudy Lyon. That's the first time I've ever called him our co-commish, so he's a little surprised to hear that. He does a lot for the league. And then each week we plan to have at least one guest on, and this week our coach, or our guest is Blake Voris, the new coach of the Moonshots. Welcome aboard. Let's get this thing going. New teams. What do we got going on in 2019 for Circle City Wiffle Ball?
First thing I'd say is the new addition of the Pork Pistols, right?
Slow pitch softball team. Yeah. Should be a good bunch.
Basically, I don't know much personally about the guys. I don't know if you two have had more encounters with them, or
we know nothing. Yeah, we know nothing.
We don't know nothing.
We know they like to drink, they like to party, they host a banger wiffle ball tournament every summer, and that's about it. So
they had some good representation in our April meeting. So.
Yeah, they did.
Sounds like a good addition. Don't know if they're going to be competitive, but they very well could be.
And then Rudy, you want to kind of break down the rules we've got coming in this year?
Absolutely.
I know. So Rudy kind of takes on.
Whoa.
Well, what?
Don't we have one more new team?
We have a new team. He's wearing his jersey right here.
Throwing shade already.
The Moonshots. So, all right, listen. Blake and I, we had some beers. We were sitting for dinner. I was like, Blake, listen, bro. Let's split up. And for some reason, this dude was so on board with it, I was a little offended. Right? Immediately. Like, it didn't even take any thought. He was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. Let's break up. And so, Blake split off, formed the Moonshots. Beautiful set of jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
So the Moonshots was one of the OG Indy Southside wiffle ball teams during the tournament days.
The one thing that caused that breakup is we were bound to get in a major heated argument. What's the season?
Dude, it's the first episode of the show. Let's not get into a big argument.
No.
Now you guys get to do it as competitors against
That's the thing. Right. It's only going to get worse being on opposite sides.
Yeah.
But realistically, Blake was, he's committed to it. He's serious about it. He's serious enough that he's on our first YouTube show.
Yeah.
So I knew if I had him as another coach in the league, that's just one more competitive team that's going to compete for a title. And that does nothing to hurt the league at all. Let's jump right let's talk about the rules that are changing. Let's talk about some of the policies that are changing for 2019 and just go from there. So
this has kind of been envisioned over, man, it's hard to believe. We had our first meeting in like October last year, once the 2018 season finished up, which seemed like it took an eternity. It went from late May, early June, around Memorial Day, and when it crept into September, it was like week 2 of the NFL season. We were watching games on the party deck when we were having the World Series. It was crazy. Like the Colts,
season took forever.
Colts, when they started 0-5, look how they turned things around.
That was us. We were there. We were there since then.
Yeah, we're the cause of that. Go Colts. But since then, we had that meeting in October. We had another one in December where we voted and finalized some things, and then we had an all-coaches meeting in early April, and we actually did get coaches' votes and player votes in on some of these changes.
Kudos to Mike Speak Sr. for that.
Yeah, the old guy has an incredible house, an incredible basement.
Yeah,
spiked slushies. That's the MVP of the meeting right there. But
I think that earns him some MVP votes before the season.
It should. Yeah.
A couple things we voted on, trying to get more streamlined with the NWLA standards. We did vote and approve on going to unlimited pitch speed. In years past, we had considered kind of like an honor system with like, you know what, bro, you're really humming it in there, slow it down. I think this past season specifically, it was kind of, like a macho thing. It's like, I'm not going to ask him to slow it down because we had some guys whipping it in there.
Yeah.
But now we don't have to worry about that tension.
And it was kind of like, especially when you get to the playoffs or big matchups in the regular season, it was if you had two good pitchers, they were both throwing hard anyway. Yeah. And for me, the pitch speed thing, I keep telling guys, like, I don't think it's going to increase that much because if you go out there and you just chuck it at the zone, you're not going to throw strikes. There's a few guys that are going to be able to do that, and those are going to be the tough guys to hit.
Part of the balancing act with that, we're moving the mound back to 48 feet, which is also in line with NWA. We were at 46, is that right? 46 feet prior?
Yeah, so 47 and a half is NWA, and we were at 46.
Roughly.
Or 47. It was literally like a 1 foot length back was the movement we're making.
So increase the pitch speed, give the batter more reaction time. Hopefully that balances out. Honestly, the name of the game is just be on the board, hit the strike zone, just like it is in baseball. You know, Greg Maddux, he's throwing low 90s, upper 80s, and he's just pinpoint, probably the most accurate pitcher in history. That's how I try to model my game after when I'm pitching, because I'm not going to be throwing it past anyone. Thank you.
Rudy's throwing 5 pitches.
He does.
In the game.
He commands 5 pitches on the corners, and that's what makes him miserable to hit.
Stop, I'm blushing. We're putting in a pitcher circle. Our pitcher is not going to be able... Well, they can still move freely, but outs can only be recorded into the pitcher's hand when they're inside the diameter of that circle.
One thing I notice here is that we see a pattern, right? We're aligning realigning our rules to shape what NWLA has put forth in that tournament. And ultimately, I think it's going to be a huge step in the right direction in getting our team more competitive going forward.
Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, each week is going to be it'll be a practice basically for NWLA tournament. And ultimately what it boils down to is that your success at the NWLA tournament kind of determines, it's a weighted scale, but it determines a little bit of the legitimacy of your league. So we want to put the best product out there. We want to, make sure that we're in top form for that tournament.
Since we're talking about the NWA tournament, shout out to Wiffle's Life for getting the title last year. But remember, we beat you guys. So give and take.
They didn't have their best guy. They'll be quick to tweet
a win's
that.
A win. It's all right. It's all right. You guys get the trophy.
Just saying, our 18-year-old phenom.
Yeah.
Shut him down on the mound.
No hitter. Okay. Moving on. We're also increasing our game length to 6 innings, but shortening our series each night to 2 games. So you're going to play 12 innings instead of 15. So that's going to be nice. I'm curious to see how that works out for certain teams' pitching staffs, but for a guy and you as well, Dudas, that would throw 1 and 3 in the series because we can't pitch consecutive games, I'm going to appreciate a lot of that. It's going to relieve my arm a ton, although I love pitching, but I was exhausted.
I mean, that third game was always...
By the end of the season.
I felt like it was so effective. And it was so sloppy. It was just, who is less hurt, who's not cramping as much, and that's who it wanted. Our big mantra during our meetings was quality over quantity.
Yes.
So really just trying to focus on making sure our product that we've got out there is the best that we can possibly have. And
I'm glad you said that because that segues into what our last point is, the quality over quantity with our scheduling system. The key to getting a quality league is to have commitment from our coaches, but also commitment from our players to the schedule. And so rather than playing any night of the week, which was what it seemed like, you were running ragged, we're doing your master's degree, but also trying to be at the field every
4
night
nights
of the week.
5 nights a week.
Now we're hemmed into 3 nights each week. Sundays can be all day, but then we play Tuesday and Thursday nights. I think it's worked amazingly so far just to get the first month of our season scheduled.
I agree.
My first half of the season is scheduled with the Yackers, and looking forward to doing division scheduling later on. So I think this is a great start, and I have a ton of confidence in the coaches to be able to continue the way that we started into the end of the season.
Is that what we've got?
Yeah, that's all wrapped up there on the changes. I think sums up what we've got, unless you've got something else to add.
The trade deadline.
I was gonna say
finally added that July 4th. Yeah. We've had
no
we've
comment.
Always right.
No. Give us your comment. What happened last year?
Oh, should we let the people know?
Yeah, let the people know.
Okay, so we're instituting a trade deadline this year, July 4th, so players cannot be swapped at the last second. Last season, Rudy was...
It's all right. It's okay.
A fault of mine. Listen,
all right.
I'm talking to both coaches. They're like, can we do this? I'm like, yeah, I think it gives us 4 or 5 teams that can win the title. So last second, I send Aiden Palmer, probably one of the best raw pitchers in the league.
The pitcher who shut down with his life.
To the team that's playing Rudy. They show up to the ballpark with no clue that this is happening, and they were rightly upset. So, but that's probably a product of us not having any regulations in place. So now we've got a trade deadline, and if you want to make a trade in the season, you've got to pay. Each team pays $25 to the league office, a.k.a. Brendan Dudas. So make your trades, boys. No, I'm just kidding.
And make your checks out to Brendan Dudas.
So I think it'll do a really good job. Plus, we have a roster finalization for the playoffs. Basically, all these rules are just making us more serious and more, so we can focus our attention on things.
And for the record, I felt no hard feelings about that. I think we ended up losing in a pitcher's duel 1-0 in that game, but the way it was righted. We all talked about it as a league afterwards, and shout out to the Hounds, Devin Hensley, for being able to concede, understanding what was in the total fairness of not just to our squad, but I think across the board with the league, because there was some frustration league wide, but this relieves a lot of that.
Can we dive into the major off-season moves that we saw this year?
It was a big
Take it
story.
away.
Let's do it.
Get
Go
us
with
there.
it, Blake.
The Noodlers just completely fell apart.
Lost our two best
The former
players in the
champions
league. Yeah.
lost their two best players in Dakota Rogers and Brian Shaler. Brian was the MVP last year, is that right?
Cy Young, was a huge hit to us, like you're probably about to hit on, and it's something we have to be creative to fill that void.
With that said, the league's incredibly important to me. I had just started my team. I had signed a couple players in Jordan Tackett and Jeremy McIntyre. We were all worried about Tyler and his commitment. Obviously, House was lacking a full roster at that point.
Yeah, so Blake, you sent Jordan and Jeremy. Jordan Tackett played in the first year of the league. He was, probably had the MVP secured until Austin Church stole it from him in the last week. And then Jeremy McIntyre is another freak athlete who makes plays, who just announced that he might not be able to play because of a job promotion. But the trade made sense for both parties. Blake needed just a solid, proven impact bat. Great fielder in Tyler Gregory, and then House just needed bodies, and so it made sense. I thought it was a really good, really even deal at the time.
That week on Twitter, my jaw was permanently on the floor, and I see this tweet, and I think I even sent a GIF. I'm just like, so the blog post comes out about not just Shaler, which we kind of saw coming, moving to Tennessee, and then Rogers. Both of them, one fell swoop, and then the next day, it's you're making all these moves, and I'm over here running the Yackers, twiddling my thumbs, not making any off-season transactions. I felt completely left out. I was like, man, they must, the players on my team must think I'm the worst GM in the league because they're seeing all this action.
Or the best because you're not just shipping them out,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and kudos to Cody House. Not only did he need bodies, he acquired very solid players. He also signed Sawyer Mitchell, and Sawyer, I don't know his awards or whatnot, what he's won in the past, but he has been a former ISWB, CCW staple in the league.
One thing that flies under the radar every single season is Cody House's ability to put together a really good team, and then Cody House's ability to put together a really good season individually. You watch all of it. You can watch every single game. I do. I'm at the deck watching every game, and it's man, Cody's kind of struggling this year. And this end of the season rolls around, and he's got 15 bombs and 80 RBIs. He's batting 400, and he's sneaky and he's solid. He cares. He cares.
While you're talking about it, does this mean we need to institute a Manager of the Year award?
Cody House. It would be called the Cody House Manager of the Year award if we did.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go into the team over.
So we broke this down. Rudy's going to take on the 8 balls, Noodlers, Moonshots. Blake will go through, putting him on the spot as the guest. He's going to break down my team, the Short Shorts, and then Rudy's team, the Yackers, and then I'll go through some of the teams with lesser-known individuals. I'll go through the Pistols, the Crazy Fat Kids, and the Hounds. So take it away, Rudy. Go ahead.
We talked a lot about the Noodlers. I know I mentioned one thing in my notes about role reversal. Just more points just to give you perspective on what they're losing as a squad. And don't forget, this team was ranked number 5 nationally in the NWA. They were 27-5 last year. I'd love to see them go up against any of the top teams that were measured in our region. But stats-wise, this is what they're having to replace. You're talking about Billy Bean, Moneyball, replacing the Giambis, the Isringhausens, like that movie portrayed. But how can you replace 24 wins on the mound combined? 13 for Shaler, 11 for Rogers. Rogers went 11-0. I know he's really proud of that, so tip of the cap to you, sir, for going undefeated.
And if you want to join the Moonshots, hit me up.
Yeah. Both sub-3 ERAs from both those guys, and a combined 216 strikeouts, along with 6 shutouts from Shaler. So that's what they're working with or working without. Couple strengths.
Just from the mound, too.
Yeah, just from the mound.
Let's not even talk about the fact that they probably combined for 40 bombs and 150, 200 RBIs. Like, those two guys are two of the best two-way players in the league. So.
I still lose sleep over that Game 3 in the semis where we miraculously forced Game 3. It was a great game.
That was impressive.
We were up 3-2 or something in the bottom of the 4th, and I hung a curveball to Rogers, and he planted it over the fence, put it in the tree.
Whole night I was surprised. I mean, did you steal Game 1 or was
we stole Game 1 in like 8 innings?
Yeah.
That was. I will say, before I get moving on, strengths and weaknesses with them. Strength could be the unknown and the lower set of expectations. They can exceed those. The weakness, I think, could just be chemistry, like trying to figure out who's the best fit where, coming up with the right lineup situation. Simple as that.
The benefit to them is that they do have a lot of experience coming back just in prior years.
Yeah.
Granted, the league has taken off recently, but bringing those players back
so
is
maybe
be
then that's a positive, but rust would be a word I would put out there as a potential weakness. So let's talk about the 8 balls. The phrase that I put down for them is just business as usual. Like, that's a hyphenated phrase. They
show up to the park, strike out a lot of hitters.
Yep.
Walk a lot.
The only thing different about them is, and the very minor difference is they added a player.
Yeah.
Do we know much about him?
I think you do a little. He played in the league in 2015. Played
Greenwood
well.
Guy,
Hit like 3
GHS.
bombs, robbed a homer over the Monster one year.
If this is the Connor Morris I'm aware of as an Anderson baseball graduate, I know he's a sweet swinging lefty. He could be a very big added benefit to what their weakness is hitting.
That's what they need, dude.
And that's what they need.
They've always needed that impact back.
So that's the one change. The other change is going to be their uniforms. That's all that really changes about them.
That's it.
You've got Speak Senior and Junior, McFarland. So that 3-headed monster is just going to be exactly what it is, a monster on the mound. The rule changes, I'm curious to see how that impacts them. I could see it going so many different ways, where it could just leave them with more, each arm with more in the tank come playoffs, or it could cause them to backslide in a sense that they're not getting as many reps as they would during the regular season. Because they may still try to go like, okay, the 2 speaks one night, and then McFarland's going to get the first start on the next series, so on and so forth.
Right.
It's like not much changes about the 8 balls, but the league is changing around them. So how does the circle for pitcher's hand affect them? How does the pitch speed and moving the mound back? And then lastly, talking about your moonshots, the word I have down for you is upside. Like, you guys have a lot of hope. I don't think there's much pressure on you guys to succeed. All around, your strength on your team is looking at your roster the way it's assembled right now. You got a guy like Holden Palmer who averages, I think, he and his brother are the only 2 in the league that had a K per 5 rating over 10.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's the thing with the Palmer brothers.
Yeah.
They are so, you can't follow any other stat but strikeouts, because like, if the ball got put in play on the teams they were on, it was like it was going to be a hit.
Yeah.
Like, they were not fielding those balls. And
just touch them.
So their ERAs were up, their hits were up, and then of course their walks are up because they're getting frustrated.
Yep.
So Blake's got his reservations about Holden. I'm like, dude, you've got a good defense. You've got yourself. You've got Tyler Gregory. He's going to strike out a lot of dudes. He's going to let them put weak balls in play, and he's going to be right up there for Cy Young, I think.
And I'm assuming you and Holden are going to be holding it down on the mound, right?
Yeah, and actually our most recent addition, Brandon Benedict,
he's going to throw?
Is when he's available,
okay.
And when he's there, he's going to be our primary relief pitcher.
Okay. That's, I think, the weakness I see on you guys. It's somewhat glaring is just hitting the board, because I know Holden, he's going to get his Ks, but compared to his brother, his walk rate is way higher.
Absolutely.
And like this, not to knock you, Holden, if you're watching, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. be on the board, help these guys be successful. Then you got your hitters, you, Keegan, who had a breakout year last year, Gregory, Church when he's there, MVP caliber, NWA tournament guy. Upside is the word, and the bar's not too high, but it's moderately high for you guys. So.
The next team that we're gonna cover then is the Short Shorts, which finished third place last year.
We didn't play a third place game,
third
but
or fourth.
we're taking the Yackers down, so let's say third place.
Third or fourth. However, the roster completely dismantled. Brendan went into that a little bit, but he recovered well. He signed a lot of great players, and starting there, his nephew, Aiden Palmer, one of the top 3 pitchers in the league now, major signing. The kid hits the board, throws it the hardest, if not the second hardest in the league.
Rubber
late sharp break.
Oh my gosh,
he could throw all day.
I asked that kid at the tournament, he's like, "Did your arm hurt?" No. He's completely emotionless. He's just a killer.
It's wild. Dylan Jones is going to be making his return this year after shoulder surgery, is that right?
Just about everything, yeah. I think he had 2 torn labrums, probably. Little hungover from the season before, he's an every other year type of guy.
Big beer drinker. However, he will hit some bombs. He will push it to the right side, and that's going to be pretty lethal. And then Taylor DeHart, who's been another great player in the league. A lot of baseball experience. All-star game last year. Great showing. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had a lefty on my team. A lefty hitter.
Yeah.
So that's first for that.
Yeah. That's
Plays
great for
defense,
situations.
plays
Defensive
hard.
Player of the Year, right?
Yeah. I think I've got guys that are going to play really hard. But most of all, the kind of theory behind my team was I saw some guys that were kind of on their way out of the league maybe that I wanted to bring together and sort of act as someone to get them back in the league and teach them what winning a championship's like in 2019, hopefully.
He can pitch some too, right?
He can.
He threw last year. Yeah, he was good.
Lefty and throws hard, and we'll use him.
Last but not least, you got Brendan Dudas on the Short Shorts, former MVP, 500, 600, 700 time MVP in the league. Great hitter, can push it to the right side, can pull a ball and hit it over the fence. He's a pretty great pitcher too. The only thing that you gotta look out with Brendan is just walks.
I thought he was going to say temper.
Oh, well, yeah. I'll let you hit on yourself there a little bit.
No, that should have been you. That's why you left, dude.
No, it's not the primary reason I left.
Did he lead the league in tantrums last year? Did we look that
I was second.
Oh,
second behind.
My cousin.
There you go.
Brandon Brutus.
Dendon Brutus?
Yeah.
We like the competitive nature of the league. I think that's important. But Brendan is definitely the leader on that team and looks to be the major source of their offensive production. And then the last team I'm going to be covering are the Yackers. I'm going to need help with this one, Rudy.
I'm here.
But we'll start with Rudy.
Okay.
We kind of dove into this a little bit. Doesn't throw it very hard, but he's got 5 or 6 pitches that he'll throw at you, so you never know what way the ball is going to break. He played some NWLA. He was on our roster last year. Major help with that.
I got rocked. Are you kidding me?
Well, it wasn't bad. It was AWAA.
Yeah.
We lost 8-0.
My arm was completely shot after that weekend. I was trying to level up and throw harder. Oh my gosh.
Next, we've got Alex Gates. I know he does pitch a little bit.
Yeah.
And he can swing the bat as well. I think he had a grand slam last year. Is that right?
He in our opening series, he hit 2 grannies.
In one game.
And I'm like...
Back-to-back ABs.
So he's got power potential.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He was having some arm troubles at the end of the year, and he really kind of just leveled off and even plummeted towards the end. I think he was, apologetic and really bummed that that's how his performance, how it trended last year.
Okay, and then we got Brenton Fowler. Been a very consistent player last year. Showed up week to week. The one thing I noticed, he doesn't like to swing a lot, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is in this league.
It's a foolproof strategy most of the time.
Pitchers are going to get frustrated. When you face the 8 balls, you're going to get frustrated. Brenton, kind of the same way. Yeah. He's going to get on base. He's going to walk a lot. It just leaves room for the other players to pick it up and get some RBIs.
He will be on the IR for the month of June. He just had knee surgery this past week, so we did bring in a replacement.
Our league is banged up. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your replacement that you brought in then.
Yep.
Alex Certain, right?
Alex Certain is a guy that I know from Anderson. I think a majority of my team has Anderson University connections. He is another sweet swinging lefty. He's played intramural wiffle ball up at Anderson when I was running their intramural program, and I think he may have been on the championship winning team. So,
and then we've got, you're going to have to go over these guys because I'm not too familiar.
Sure.
Matt Nees, David Bailey, and Walker Spar.
Okay. Walker's going to be part-time, similar to Alex, but he was a huge piece to us forcing that 3-gamer in the semis last year against the Noodlers. He hit like a clutch 2-out, 2 RBI double down the left field line that put us up late in that game 3, I think. But he might be here for the opening day tournament since we're going to be short on so many people. It's going to be me, Alex, and Matt for sure, and maybe Walker for the 3-game tournament grind on Saturday. Matt and I, we went to high school together up in Michigan. He could streak on and off, but he's going to be a guy in the middle to back end of our order that can be key to driving in runs, which he showed early on. And then Dave, I said I wasn't going to share this story, so you guys just have the raw surprise. But Dave, he also just finished up at Anderson. He's a Greenwood High School grad. This... I'm just going to say it. He was born blind.
Wait, what?
Dave Bailey was born blind. And I know, Dave, I hope you're more than just a born blind story. But he, by a miracle, after a few months of just living, his sight came back. No surgery was done. Doctors said he was never going to see. And he still doesn't have full 20/20 vision, but he pitched in high school, and he has one of the dirtiest screwballs I've ever sway
the wiffle ball screwball?
Wiffle ball screwball.
Okay.
And he throws hard, way harder than me. So
holy crap!
He probably hasn't thrown since September, since our intramural wiffle ball season, but he won't be with us for the opening tournament. But yeah, he is blind. He is a miracle, and
he's going to be striking up.
We might have his own little 30 for 30.
He's going to be striking us
Circle
out
City
with that
wiffle ball
stuff
too.
I actually was going to add him to the team last year, but he broke his leg playing intramural basketball at Anderson.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He saw pictures of it and about threw up.
I'm going to post that. Yeah. This is going to pop up right in this
totally
area somewhere, and you guys are going to throw up.
Oh my gosh, that's
He's so proud of it,
George, Kevin Ware level.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So another story with that, he was playing IM basketball. He was down low in the paint. He got a rebound, did a pump fake, and was almost fully his body was an upside down L. He was just tabletop flat back. Guy jumps to try and block his shot on the pump fake, lands on his back, and his whole body weight just crumpled under Dave's leg.
Gravy.
Yeah, so 2 miracles, I guess. He was
born blind, snapped his leg in half. What else is this guy going to do? Win MVP this year?
And he's going to come into this league and win MVP.
Yeah.
Come on. I got the Pistols, the Crazy Fat Kids, and the Hounds. That's a good group. I'm gonna go with probably the most boring one of the group first and talk about the Hounds. Just because, they're a fun group and they're bringing some fun guys, but the other 2 are probably going to bring a little more show factor. The Hounds are returning. They lost Devin Hensley to injury and to my squad, but they're returning. They actually had the 2 consecutive Rookie of the Years on their team. They're bringing back Reed Warner, who's one of the most impossible outs in the game. I don't know what it is about lefties, but they pull that ground ball there and you cannot feel it. It's it's hard to do. You might pitch a little, and then they're bringing in one of my dark horse candidates for just Rookie of the Year, MVP. Telling what this kid's going to do. But Will Smithy's coming. He's a wild dude. He's got all the makings of a good wiffle ball player.
He's got potential.
How was he as Genie in Aladdin?
As Genie, Will Smith, yeah.
Okay.
No, Will Smithy.
Gotcha.
Will Smith.
Sorry, dad jokes.
No, yeah, that was terrible.
All,
that just
all
missed.
show
That
long.
missed.
Every episode there will be a dad
Rudy
joke.
with the air ball.
Yeah.
Right there.
Giannis.
So they're bringing back Bailey Butcher, left-handed thrower. He pounds the board, doesn't hit much, but when he does, he hits well. So he might hit a little more this year. And then their last hitter is James, right? James from GBL and from Leroy. So I think James is running into a good bunch of dudes. Hopefully, they're really good ambassadors for our league and can introduce him and provide him with a good time at Circle City Wiffle Ball, because we'd like to continue that relationship forward.
That's the wild card there. I mean, we have not seen James.
We know numbers.
So if he
That's
comes
about
in
it.
and he's a stud, look for the Hounds to be
Right.
one of the top 3 teams in the league potentially.
That's one of the teams that could finish 6th through 2nd or 1st. I mean, it just depends on the potential that they reach. I guess I'll talk about the crazy fat kids. Daniel.
You guess?
I guess. But they're a fun bunch. They show up. They always bring a full roster of guys. I think they've got 8 or 9 guys on the roster this year.
I've got to say, to interrupt you real quick, Dan Miller, he seems dedicated.
Dude, I love it. That's the thing. I text him every year. I'm like, "You still in?" He's like, "Heck yeah, man. Let's do it."
I love it.
He brings a squad. He gets his ass kicked most of the time, but he has fun with it, and that's the thing. And he's brought in some new guys that we've talked to and we've become friends with. So I really appreciate that. And I think he's actually put together. I say this every year, but I do think he's putting a competitive roster on the field. He's bringing back Spencer Schreiner, who was an all-star last year. He brought in Michael Plord, who's a consistent staple of the league. He's not going to knock the cover off or strike out 200 hitters, but he's going to be a solid player.
Well, nobody's going to strike out 200.
That's true, Rudy. You're right. Get out of here. And then they've got Eric Starkzilla, and then the rest of the roster is sort of just going to be this revolving door of players that whoever shows up. But I think they're into it. That's one of the main things about playing in a wiffle ball league is, are you committed to it? And they are. And so I really hope that they compete and they provide something from the bottom of the standings there. And then last but not least, the Pistols. This is a group that we know nothing about, which is a little nerve-wracking, but I think we can handle them.
They seem like a fantastic time.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so with that being said, so we had the meeting, and we're discussing pitch rules. We're like, medium pitch or fast pitch, and immediately their hands shoot up for fast pitch, and they're like, we have the pitchers, we want fast pitch. And my head snapped around. I was like, what do you mean? Like, nobody just joins a wiffle ball league and says, we have the pitchers, we want fast pitch. Yeah. So either they don't know what they're talking about, or, which is my belief, is I think they're probably pretty good wiffle ball players. Yeah. They host a wiffle ball tournament every year. They play slow pitch softball, which we don't know how that translates really, but I think beer. The beer is how it translates. Yeah. They're going to be a fun bunch. It's going to be a good group to hang around. I like the dudes already. Their meme usage is top notch.
Yes.
I'm happy to have them, and I hope they stick around after this year. So we've got to treat them well.
And remember, they did play. How we got them was by advertising through the Indiana State Wiffle Championship.
Right. Yeah. So they were at a serious wiffle ball tournament. Yeah. These guys could be legit, and I hope they are.
In that tournament that I've played in a couple years, last year I didn't play, but I went to promote our league, and I didn't realize this, but they're like, you gave that presentation, and we're like, let's join a wiffle league instead of doing this once a year tournament. And I think they're they're usually a top 8 team in that tournament from year to year, from what I could tell. Yep. I could be totally wrong. But
the bottom line is they're going to be fun, and they should be competitive. So that's all that we ask from them. So now that we've kind of talked about the teams, let's rank them. Let's go ahead and hash it out. Who's your number 8 team?
My number 8
Let's do 8 to 1. 8 to 1.
Everyone 8. We're not going to do them all.
Can we
8.
Can we say it at once?
7.
Crazy fat kids.
Pistols.
Pistols? You chose
just on the unknown. Okay. Just on the unknown factor.
Listen to that, Thomas.
Just nothing personal.
Rudy just talked you guys up and then ranked you guys 8.
Do we have? So you do have the Crazy Fat Kids 7th?
I do have CFK 7th.
And I've got the Pistols 7th. I will admit.
I do have the Pistols.
Okay, so we've got Pistols, Fat Kids 7, 8. So coming in at 6, I've got the Noodlers actually.
I've got.
Unless my story about Dave Bailey has changed your rankings.
It may change.
Just spit it out. Who do you got the Yackers?
Just say it.
I've got the Yackers
Okay.
at 6, and the reason why is it could change with Bailey. I haven't ever seen the guy play, but just going off of last year, relied on Rudy way too much. And if that's going to be the case again, switching to that 2-game series, I think it's going to hurt you guys.
All right, so you had Yackers. We both had Noodlers.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have? Who do you have 6th? Is that 6th? 5th.
5th.
I got the Hounds.
I have the Hounds as well.
I've got the Noodlers.
The Noodlers.
Okay.
So we're all right in that area. The Hounds, I think for me, they're a team that could fluctuate from. Now we're getting into that area where you might as well flip a coin.
Right.
And then you said you have the Noodlers there.
I do have the Noodlers. The reason why it seems like they're down to 3 players.
That's it.
Potentially 4.
Which sucks, but I want to point out the year that Cody House took a team to the World Series when Church's team won it, finally got a win. He had, I think at the end of the year, the stats showed like 12 players on his roster. This dude was literally calling whoever he could. I have 3 guys in our stat system without last names, and they were all Cody House's players that year because they were just like, yeah, this guy's name is Kyle. I'm like, all right, Kyle, let's do it. And he shows up to the playoffs that day. It's Cody House and then 2 other guys and makes a run to the World Series, comes within, I think we called the game short due to daylight. You know, the Austin's team was beating them, but yeah, that was before the
Back
lights.
in the
but
day,
that's what I'm saying. We all have him ranked pretty low, but we cannot doubt Cody's ability to bring a solid product. I think our flex scheduling is going to allow them to schedule games where he can get himself, he can get Tackett, and he can get Sawyer there, and as long as those 3 guys are there, they're wild cards.
Last year we underestimated the Noodlers a little bit too, and look what happened with them.
Yeah.
Champs. So
did we, or was that just in the
maybe Josh Hart?
Yeah,
Josh
Hart.
I think Josh might have.
He's worked.
Salty.
Yeah,
He's trying to
I
poke
just
the
texted
bear.
him about
He
that.
poked the bear. That's
He
pretty
did
good.
poke the bear, man.
Yeah.
If we just left them alone, they would have choked in the semis again and done their good old.
They almost did choke in the semis.
All right,
almost did.
Let's go to number 4.
Number 4, I have the Yackers. Rudy's got the Yackers. Ranks his own team 4th. Who do you have?
We'll go into this a little bit. I've got the 8 Balls.
The 8 Balls 4th?
8 Balls 4th.
This is a team that won it in 2017, runners-up 2018.
Okay.
2 best pitchers in the league. Blake's got them 4th. Explain yourself right now.
I'll dive into it in a little bit.
Okay.
We've got our hot takes coming up.
Okay. Number 3.
3, I've got the 8 Balls.
8 Balls, so you got them decently low as well.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you have 3rd?
I've got the Hounds.
So you've got them way up there. You've got them at the upper echelon of their, their variability.
I think the Hounds are going to come in and they're going to shock the league.
I've got Moonshots 3rd.
Okay.
Just out of the strength of the top 2 teams, I think they fall in closely behind. Number 2.
I've got the Moonshots. Kiss of death.
There we go.
I've got the Moonshots too.
Okay.
I've got confidence in our team.
I've got my team, the shorts. So
you guys are number 1 solely on the trophy case that you guys carry.
Right.
All the awards from last year.
You got us 1 as well. I've got the 8 Balls 1. Just they're just their pitching staff and they're so consistent. But yeah, as I was typing up that graphic, I was like, holy crap! Like we're bringing a lot into this season. So hopefully, there's some good expectations and hopefully we can get into them. Speaking of awards, let's just real quick. Who's your dark horse MVP? Give me some rookie of the years. For me, I talked about Smithy. Yep. Smithy's my dark horse rookie of the year pick.
He's my rookie of the year pick too.
I didn't know anything about him, so I just went with my miracle baby, Dave Bailey.
Dave Bailey, rookie of the year, would be a story and a half right
well, based
there.
on what you've saying, what you've been saying, I wouldn't be surprised either if it's either Smithy or Dave who's coming in there. Maybe.
Granted, he'll just be a PO. Like remember, he's partially blind.
So
he can't hit.
Stupid pitching numbers. And then my Cy Young, I'm picking Aiden. I'm picking my guy. I think we're gonna play defense behind him for once. And then my MVP.
Go ahead.
My MVP is Rudy. I think his ability to do it from both sides. Last year, I think through half the season, he was probably our leading candidate. And just the numbers he was putting up were stupid, and I think he'll continue to do that. So
MVP for me is either going to be yourself. I mean, you're in like the best shape of your life, so why? And you're posting all about it online, so we all know about it, live into it on our feeds. And then, or dark horse could be one of the speaks.
I don't think that's very dark horse, but
I
agree.
Yeah,
they're just Speak Jr. put up an incredible year last year.
Yeah. It's just going to depend on how they hit.
That's the thing. He had like 92 ribbies and 20-plus homers. Like,
he did?
Yes.
Where he did.
And then, of course, his stupid numbers on the bump. I mean,
yeah.
Who's your Cy Young pick?
Your other
I have Aiden as well.
Well, I'll go over everything. Right now, Defensive Player of the Year. I picked him up for a reason. Tyler Gregory. He's got glue hands out there. I know Taylor won it last year. We generally don't like to repeat, but we will repeat.
And we don't have any like defensive metrics that we track. It's like, okay, how many times did you make a play where we're like, holy crap?
Right.
Like, so.
Rookie of the Year, Will Smithy. I saw him play a little bit last week. He is.
It's not even dark horse at this point. If we're all like, yeah, Will Smithy's Rookie of the Year. So we gotta
give me some of the metrics on him, like height, weight, hair color.
Height, 6 foot, hair color long and kind of blonde. It looks like he could be a pro wrestler of some sort. Like just his name would be Wild Thing.
Yeah,
if you guys knew him at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like I'm glad we're in agreement.
What position is he at UND?
He was a catcher.
He's a catcher. Yeah. Okay.
Cy Young, we're straight across the board. Aiden Palmer. Seeing him in the NWLA tournament last year just blew my mind. I did not expect that at all. I knew he was decent, but he looked elite.
He did.
He looks like the best pitcher in
the
league,
potentially. He's elite mostly with one pitch.
That's the thing.
Which is crazy. Like if he learns another 1 or 2 pitches, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Yeah.
Right. And then MVP. I know I've been harping on him a lot already into the show. You guys have given me a lot of grief for it. But Speak Jr., he's going to regular season production is going to be incredible with him. He's going to fill it up on the mound, strike a lot of people out. And then I think he's going to bring back that production last year at the plate. And if he does that, I think he's the favorite to win.
I agree.
Okay.
We got a lot. I'm excited. We lost good dudes, but I think we have a lot of good talent still returning to the league. And
with how viral everything's going,
that's the thing.
With the Dirtyard, like it's going to expand. Like
hopefully
we're gonna probably generate more revenue through utilizing the Dirtyard for events and all that, and so hopefully that will perk up some more ears around Indianapolis, and maybe with that younger league up in North Indy that could develop something.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's on our shoulders to just take it and run with it. So we've got 5 Twitter questions, and then I think a rant or 2 that we kind of want to go through.
Sure.
Alex Gates, a yacker, tweets. He said, "Is the field DJ, going to get better this year?" What music did I play that he was not into last year?
Probably country.
Probably country. You know, Alex.
Oh, summertime country music.
Come on, man. Okay, so
I'm not a big country fan either.
If the answer is the music at the Dirtyard going to be anything other than country this year? No.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, all right. We'll work on it. Okay. Another question is field turf. When are we getting field turf? I'm a sucker for nice grass and nice dirt. Field turf would be really sick in terms of just, maintainability and not having to reschedule games. But I think you guys are going to be really... Blake's seen it. You're going to be pleasantly surprised with the grass, the shape it's in. We've done a lot of work to that. Put some sand in the infield.
Kentucky bluegrass.
And if you guys want turf, you better buy more of those CCW shirts.
Yeah,
go buy a shirt. We got 1 day left on the shirt.
Smash the subscribe button.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Smash the buy link.
Scoreboard. We're working on it. I don't think we're going to have it by opening day. Sorry. I know it sucks, but...
Is it at least in place? You're just programming it?
So we got the scoreboard from UND, which we are psyched about, but we get there, and it is 4, 18 by 5 foot panels. 4 of them. So this scoreboard's 36 feet long. We're like, all right, that's way too big.
What?
So we've got to take the panels and then somehow reconfigure them to resemble a wiffle ball scoreboard.
Surprised we haven't had Keith Dudas have that thing already set up.
It's just we've been so focused on the field. It is going to be Keith Dudas setting it up. But our main event, our main draw is the August 17th All-Star Game. Mm-hmm. If we can have it up by then or by the playoffs.
That's going in front of the tree?
It will go. So we thought about doing the, behind that right field wall, but Speak brought up a good point to put it. We have that old fence from the original Dirtyard kind of beyond the first baseline to put it above that. And I think that'd look good. Everybody would be able to see it. The Yackers Twitter account asked a really good question that...
Wonder who did that.
It's going to take some thought. The question is, if you could punch...
Probably Dave Bailey.
if you could punch one player in the league, if it meant the world would be saved from an impending catastrophic meteor, who would you sock in the face? Blake, go quick. Go, go, go.
Brendan Dudas.
What, dude? I agree. That's fine. That's fine.
I gotta say that just because we grew up together. A lot of heat when we play against each other.
Blake would get a kick out of just cracking me in the jaw, I feel like.
A lot of
but
heat.
to save humanity.
To save humanity.
You can respect that.
I can respect the heck out of that.
I just know no one else is going to punch Brendan Dudas in the face because he's the commissioner of the league, so someone's got to do it.
I'm punching one dude in the face. It's my boy Keegan Coy. I know you told me it was a cop-out, dude, but I'm punching him in the face. I'm getting him right in the jaw. Keegan, I'll get you next time I see you. So.
For me, it's tough because I know once there was talk about the Noodlers disbanding last year, this guy was like recruiting me, saying like, you, me, and some other schmo, we could, run this league. And it was Dakota Rogers. You're not in the league. Like, you were trying to recruit me, and yet I want, if you're in the league, I would punch you in the face. You're out of the league. And it's partially because you hitting that bomb in the semis last year to knock us out. But currently in the league, just for sheer fun and like, kicking a guy when he's down after having knee surgery, I'm going to punch Brenton in the face.
There we go.
10 years of friendship, why not? You deserve it.
All right, and our last question is, what's your hardest wiffle ball pitch to hit? What pitch do you hate see coming at you? I think my toughest pitch has to be the riser. It's the... Speak Senior brings a good one that's a little easier to hit, but Junior brings one that your brain, when you see it out of his hand... It tells you you can't get yourself to swing at it. And the next thing you know, it's hitting the board. And the ones that your brain does tell you to swing at, I think he's gotten almost everybody in the league on this. You swing, and next thing you know, it's hitting you in the freaking balls.
Riser from the left side.
It's awful, man.
Go ahead, Rudy.
I think any kind of like drop or screwball. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like I got lucky on Shaler a couple times last year, and tattooed one, but I don't know why. Like, especially in night games when it starts high and comes down low.
Any vertical movement in a pitch is just
and it's sharp, and not only is it coming down, but in towards the right-hander's hands, and it's just a nightmare.
Aiden Palmer's curveball / slider, whatever you call it.
It's late, and it brushes your nipples. And
late break, super fast. You got to be locked in and ready to go if you're going to make contact with that thing.
It's stressful hitting against him, man.
Now, something we kind of want to do is each guest we invite, we want to offer them to rant about something, to get something off their chest, to plug something. And Blake came to me and he said, let's do a rant session. I want to rant about something. So I was like, let's do it, bro. Told me a little bit about it, but outside of that, I don't really know what to expect here. So let's cut the mics and not
buckle up.
Yeah, let's hear it, Blake. What do you have to rant about in 2019?
In general, with wiffle ball, and a bunch of grown men and adults playing the sport that we grew up playing, it's just kind of frustrating when you go out in public and you talk to your coworkers, you talk to some of your family members, and you kind of just get laughed at.
Do you play what?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that for little kids?
I've heard that so many times, and I get it. If you look at it at the sport as a whole, I understand. Yeah. But that's not why we play the game. That's what it's not. I mean, a lot of us grew up playing baseball and love the sport. When we go out there, yes, we have a good time. Yes, it gives us a chance to be competitive at something. But more importantly, it connects people, and it rekindles friendships. I've talked to people I haven't talked to in years because of this wiffle ball league.
Right.
I've met Rudy. I've become friends with Rudy. I had no idea who Rudy was. I didn't go to Anderson. I went to Indiana University and would have no clue who this kid is. But with CCW, it brought us together. It created a friendship, created a bond, and that's special to me. So when people laugh and kind of poke fun at the fact that we play wiffle ball competitively, it gets a little frustrating But
it's hard. It's just one of those things that like you have to see it to do it, especially at our league, like where it's like, hey, we have this wiffle ball stadium, and they're like, well, like you play wiffle ball in a backyard, like that's all you do, and it's like, no, like come to our all-star games, see the field.
See, that's the difference with us, with our league and all these other great leagues around the country that have, Renway Park and Ren, Ohio, Migley up north. You say, oh, I play wiffle ball. Oh, is that the plastic baseball, the skinny?
Always get that question.
Yeah, exactly. But then he's like, here, let me pull out a photo of the field we play at.
Yes,
so
I
at
do
first,
that every
there's
time.
always this tinge of like embarrassment. Like, yes, I play a kid's game.
Right.
But then it's like, oh, really? Look at this.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's sick.
What it boils down to is if you're passionate about something and it brings you joy and it brings you friendship and it keeps you active more than anything, that's what it does. Like, outside of this, like, I mean, we play in the men's baseball league and we do some other things, but some people, this is their source of physical activity and it's good for you. And it's, I mean, you get out there, you're hanging out with the dudes, you're drinking beer, we meet the guys from all the other leagues at the national tournaments. There's nothing negative coming from it. And so it's just a sense of people needing to see it, to believe it, and to sort of get over that. But I feel that frustration as well, especially trying to promote the league. It's so freaking hard, man.
Isn't that the greatest when you do pull out that photo, that overhead photo on the drone of the Dirtyard?
That's in the backyard?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the backyard.
That's not the backyard.
That should just all be our phone wallpapers, honestly.
That would be a great marketing scheme.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Everyone make this your wallpaper. So all you haters, screw you guys. That's what Blake's saying. But
no, if you're watching this podcast, you care about the league, so we appreciate you.
All five.
You know what grinds my gears? That's what we need to have.
That's right. Well, that's why
grinds my gears.
That's why it's the rant of the week, and I think we've got another one, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Well, I didn't think about it until we started talking about it on the episode, but I've got something I want to get off my chest. The MVP race last year. Okay, so if you don't follow the league, I won the MVP. For me, rather undeservingly. The
Just
offensive numbers.
Clear this up real quick. Who votes on the MVP? It wasn't yourself, right?
No. So for the MVP vote, I identified 5 pretty clear candidates. I think it was Rudy, myself, Shaler, Speak Jr., and Rogers. I detach names. I send those stats to baseball guys that I respect. So former baseball coaches, baseball players, anybody that I know that follows baseball or wiffle ball. I sent it to a few of the well-respected wiffle ball guys in the country. I just said, vote on these guys. Tell me who your MVP is, or tell me who your Cy Young is, or Silver Slugger. I did it for each award. And I was fully expecting, because my pitching numbers, my ERA was high. I had a winning record. It's a good win total, which shows well to people that don't really follow serious statistics. The offensive numbers were nearly double a lot of other people's, which was what did it for me. But I was expecting Shaler to run away with it. Like, he really dominated on the mound. His two-way stats were sick. And then I think I got 35 guys to vote, and I received 33 votes. And Shaler and I were the only 2 to receive votes. And I was as surprised as anybody. And I know Dakota Rogers is pretty riled up about it, But I agree. I was like, man, Brian Shaler was the best player in the league, I thought, this year. I know offensively I was in it, in probably a category of my own, but on both sides of the ball, he brought it. And so that's what I want to get off my chest, is that I don't rig it. I have no.
No, yeah.
For me, it's almost a little embarrassing to win my own awards. And I love to see when Rogers won that 2 years ago, and when Church got his. That's what I love, and I love handing out awards to other dudes, and I'd love to have a night where we just celebrate every other single person in the league. But at the same time, I want to compete and win as well. So
do you think, let's hypothetically say, if your pitching stats are just zeros across the board, like you didn't pitch one inning, do you think you'd still have, that would make it closer? Like,
I think it would have made it closer.
Or it would have probably valued more in the trend of a guy.
Had I not pitched at all, I think it was the volume of pitching I did, the number of strikeouts I had.
You were the shorts ace last year.
Right, and so that was probably it. I know, I said, the ERA was high.
Which is not a position you generally want to be in. You'd rather be a number 2. Or,
I would love to be a number 2.
But
looking forward to this year.
It's almost like that 12 wins, because you had, an ERA over 5 or 6 or something like that. It's, the old school, new school debate. Like, wins get you the Cy Young.
Yeah.
And I think that's what probably did it versus, the ERA, the WHIP.
Right. I've kind of put some thought into reworking the voting system. Like, do we have a weighted system to where we bring in voters and then we bring in player opinions as well? I think that would factor in and do well, because ideally, like everybody else in the league, the other 7 teams, they have the best idea of who the best player in the league is. So
it's not a bad plan,
right? So that's what I've got to get off my chest. Rudy, you have anything you want?
I have no rants.
Plug anything?
Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Nice Guy.
He'll have a rant by the end of the year.
I probably will have a rant. I'll probably get screwed again in the season at some point, whether it's by Dudas or someone else. But no, just the only thing I'd say to plug is we're excited to get this season rolling this weekend with our opening day tournament, another part of our scheduling change. I was excited to roll this out as, this the co-commish, as you coined yesterday, is still my heart's beating fast hearing those words. To roll out this new divisions, 2 divisions of 4, where each division is going to get to play within their own division, 1 game against their division opponents in a round robin tournament. So it's kind of a cool opening day incentive. Like, you may not win the World Series at the end of the season, but you could say I was opening day division tournament champs.
That's true. Yeah.
And just as we did our top 8s and everything, like those are reflective of how I see the rosters. I do not necessarily think that like 1 and 2 are going to be my teams in the World Series.
Right.
So,
right.
Lot of things
regular
can happen.
Season power rankings, or those are our preseason.
Yeah,
power
like
rankings.
I have you guys ahead of us in the Hoosier division. We had Dudas as representative in the Crossroads division. I have you guys maybe winning the division, but I think we're going to win the tournament on Saturday. So
there you go. Let's rile some people up, though. We didn't give our hot takes.
Hot takes. Blake, you want to shoot your hot take first?
No, I'll leave mine for last. I think it's the hottest.
Is it? Okay.
Rudy, you got a hot take?
It's not too hot. I don't know. I guess I didn't put much thought into it.
Mr. Nice Guy.
This is, Mr. Nice Guy. I think I love the parity that we have in the league with the player movement, and maybe a hot take, maybe not. Keep in mind this is now a 17-game schedule in the regular season. I think every team is going to have at least 7 or 8 wins.
There you go. That would be
that
sick.
means
that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
So you're finishing 7-10, 8-9.
Yeah.
We've got all 8 teams advance to the playoffs. Did we decide on that?
6 teams.
6 tops.
Yeah.
You're right.
So you'd be fighting. There'll be some playing games.
So that could create competition at the top and competition at the bottom. So with everyone getting 7 wins, you're looking at no more than like a 5 or 6 game difference between first and 8th.
That would be money. I'd like that. Blake, shoot your hot take. Let's go.
My hot take is that the 8 Balls won't sniff the World Series this year.
Won't sniff it.
Won't
sniff it.
Extra hot. I just think that the competition in our league has increased significantly over this past year, and it's going to be something that we haven't seen before. And I actually think the new rules may affect them a little bit. Speaks Senior can't throw it in there super hard anymore. He's got to rely on his movement, whereas obviously his son Junior, that's going to help him. But if you're limiting like kind of with you, Rudy, and the Yackers, if you're limiting Junior and he's not able to throw 3 games, I think they're going to get upset. And I believe in the Hounds this year, and I believe in my team, and I believe in the Short Shorts, and the Yackers can knock them off. There's so many good teams in this league who, in one series, can knock out the 8 Balls and shock.
That's the thing.
Everybody.
When you took away the Noodlers 2 guys and you split off, what that really did is like beef up that like middle portion of our standings to where they could do whatever. So I don't disagree with that. I mean, the 8 Balls are the 8 Balls, so that's definitely a hot take. And
would I be shocked if they make the World Series and win the title and prove me wrong? No. But
gotta hang another day.
Definition of sniff, they make the playoffs, they lose in the wild card round. Is that what you're saying?
They get upset.
I think they're going to have in the semis.
I think they're going to have a high seed.
Okay.
So I think they're going to beat one of the lower seeds in the first round and lose in the semifinal. But they're going to get swept.
All right, and then just to end the show, I sort of had this fun little idea that we'd take turns drafting this fantasy team. Each one of us would, take a turn, and basically, Blake will go first. He's our guest, and then Rudy will go. Unless you want the snake pick, we can go that way. You can get 2 picks. We'll do that.
Sure.
So Blake will go. I'll take the middle pick, and Rudy will get the snake pick. And what we're doing is in no particular order. We're going to draft a team name and jersey set. Cannot be your own.
Okay.
We're going to take a CCW pitcher, a CCW hitter, and then one superhero ringer player. He's the guy you're bringing in from out of town for a weekend tournament. Blake, you're on the clock.
I am going to pick CCW hitter, so I can't leave it. I know Brendan's not going to pick himself, but I know Rudy would. So Brendan Dudas is my CCW hitter.
I'm taking a team name and jersey set, and I'm snagging the Moonshots, the beautiful Columbia
I did not
blue.
think a shirt was going to go in the first round.
Going in the first round.
That's like picking a kicker. That's like Janikowski.
I think swag can win you the matchup, so I'm taking the shirt. Okay, Rudy, you got two.
I'm gonna pick my superhero just because.
There we go.
I grew up as a massive Spider-Man fan.
Spider-Man on the wiffle ball field.
Yes,
I like it.
I mean, if he's allowed to use all of his powers, like no one's gonna hit a homer.
That's true, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be unhittable when he's running the bases. You're not gonna be able to peg him.
Okay.
Because of Spidey sense. Super quick.
Good.
Wall crawler. He's robbing everything.
It's a good call. Yeah. You're the
and
snake
then my
now.
second
Get two in a row.
Pick. I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna take Mike Sr.
Mike Sr. off the board. Yeah. That's a good one.
Oh, we owe so much to that guy for the fence, and he deserves to be the first pitcher off the board.
All right, so I've taken a jersey. I need a pitcher, a hitter, and a superhero. I'm gonna go with my superhero, and I'm gonna take Flash. Okay. I don't think you're gonna be able to get him out when he hits a ground ball.
DC guy, huh?
He's gonna get a lot of inside the Parkers. He's gonna track down some fly balls.
All he's got to do is hit it on the ground for an inch, and he's already around the bases.
He's there, dude.
It's over.
Well, you guys left me a little time to pick my superhero.
Yeah.
So you do not have to take a superhero. It's the last pick.
Smart.
Right, and I get a snake, and I get team jersey and pitcher.
Yeah.
So I get the very first pitcher, the very first hitter, and the second jersey.
He took a pitcher. So.
Oh yeah, you took Senior. That's right. So he's your pitcher, not your hitter, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you've got Dudas, and now...
So I'm picking Speak Jr., my MVP
Speak
pick.
Jr. is his pitcher.
And I've got Jr. and Dudas, and I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay, you got another pick now, so you make a... Probably, I guess you're going jersey, trying to snag whatever you think Rudy's going to take.
I'm going to snag whatever I can, and I know Rudy thinks his jerseys are pretty sweet, as do I, which is why I stole the pinstripes this year.
Thank you.
I am taking the Yackers jersey.
Yackers jersey off the board.
The orange pinstripes, not these that I'm wearing.
So I got to fill a pitcher and a hitter. I guess that's a pretty obvious choice. I'm taking Aiden Palmer as my pitcher. And then Rudy, you've got two picks. Finish out your squad.
My hitter, I'm going to... I don't know. Like you said, he's a really tough out. I enjoyed playing with him my rookie year. When he was rookie of the year. Reed Werner is
just a good pick.
Yeah, love the sweet swinging lefty. He's tough for me to get out. He's hit a couple bombs off me. Mad respect.
Nice pick.
And then jersey set. I think I do like the powder blue and red color scheme of the short shorts.
There we go.
Take your guys' jerseys.
This is just too nice of a group right here, dude. Picking each other's jerseys and everything. Yeah. Now I need a hitter. So all of my hitters have been taken. I do have a good former MVP. I know who my pick is, and he's a Hall of Famer. Whenever we decide to create a Hall of Fame, he's the OG. He can win every award. I'm taking Austin Church.
The guy that's bound to foul off 12 balls into the bushes. Left field line, and then mash.
He'll make you throw your arm out. Yeah, and then finally on the 12th pitch, he's taking one deep. Just fair, too. So you got one pick left, and it's your superhero.
It's my superhero, and Flash is a great pick. I wish I could have him. If I got to think of someone left, my favorite superhero is Batman. I can't pick him. I don't know how good he was. Right. Exactly. So I'm picking Superman. If he makes contact, that ball is gone. Spider-Man can't catch it with his little web. How much web does Spider-Man actually have,
Infinite web, dude.
I know nobody's made those rules. So if Superman is mashing dingers and moonshots to the sky, I don't think Spider-Man can catch that.
I'm shocked nobody picked Thor.
I was thinking about it, but then Flash was on the board, so I thought Thor with his hammer would, smash it. So, but who knows? Maybe his hand-eye isn't good, and it's like a 4-inch bat, so maybe it's not. Maybe he doesn't. The outside pitch will get him. There's our squads. We're gonna post those. Yeah, we're gonna post those in a poll once we release the show. You guys go ahead and vote on those. Give your best squads.
hot take, my team is going to get the lowest percentage. I'm completely okay with that. It's all right.
There's this hot take.
Don't vote for my team.
There we go.
Rudy just beats up on himself and nobody else.
Wiffle ball, nice guys.
All right. So outside of that, I mean, we've covered a ton. This is probably a longer show than we expected, but it's the opening day show. I mean,
we'll shorten it up.
Yeah, we've got opening night now. That's a big announcement. We didn't. So we've switched things up. The Short Shorts and the Hounds are opening things up on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Then the rest of our league, whatever the Pork Pistols end up doing, are going to play on Sunday. So we've got that coming up. We've got all of our series scheduled for the following week. I think we'll live stream the 8 balls and the moonshots are going down, so that'd be a good matchup. I don't think you'll be there.
Yeah, especially after all that trash I talked. I can't wait to face them week 1.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. We'll try to live stream that. And like I said, the intent of this show is just to give everybody else a look into Circle City Wiffle Ball, to let you know some of the players. And then, this is going to present itself. It could be an in-studio show. We could be out at the field, with, showing you a live stream of the field. We could do a skit. Just something. We want to bring you content every week and try to get you guys involved and everybody else involved as much as possible. So,
real quick before we go, just thank you to the sponsors who have supported the league so far this year.
We've got Arland Communications, Dave Arland over there, Mike Speak and Amerifence. His contributions to the league are probably the biggest anybody's ever made in terms of the Dirtyard. We've got Diesel Pride, who's the dad of a kid I coached at Center Grove. Thank you to Diesel Pride. And then a new smoke shop, the Pipe Puffer Smoke Shop. They sell probably something to do with smoking.
What team got that?
That is Dan Miller. Dan Miller got
really?
that. The crazy fat kids, yeah. So really, the sponsors are what make us go. And then we've had a few people donate and buy shirts and just send checks, and that means a ton. That helps us run our charity tournament, our charity all-star game, which is our big event, August 17th. Mark it on your calendars now. But outside of that, I mean, that they let our league go around. We don't bring in a lot of revenue like we talked about. So, you guys have anything else you want to plug before we go? Please.
No more talk. Let's play.
Come on.
Let's get at the Dirtyard.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, we'll probably be back sometime next week. We'll try to get you an episode. Stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We'll see you around. Thank you.